Welcome back to Sunrise. We believe here that the pursuit of knowledge and self-improvement really knows no age limit. And our next guest shares in this belief. Her passion for adult education has led to the establishment of the Adult Learning Centers of Jamaica, the ALCJ. And through this initiative, attorney Sanya Goffe and her team continue to provide essential literacy, numeracy, and just general life skills training that help adults transform their lives and build brighter futures. Well, she joins us this morning to tell us more about this initiative. Sanya.
Very beautiful.
The Sanya Goffe.
The Sanya Goffe.
Thank you.
Beautiful attorney at law. When you talk about pension plan and scheme and these things, she is that girl. Okay?
Yeah, man.
She is that.
We know about her. Bright.
That girl. Bright and beautiful.
Yes.
All things bright and beautiful. All creatures great and small.
Yes.
All things right and wonderful. The Lord God made them all. Sanya, right
Thank
here.
you very much for that introduction. Thank you.
You're not going to go nowhere else and get that. You have to come here. You have to come, son, right?
So tell us, now, how long have you been involved in trying to make a contribution to adult education, to lifelong learning then?
So how it started was in, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to date myself, but in 1998, 99, Gavin Goffe, who's my husband now, but nobody could have told me he was going to be my husband at that time.
I was also one of my law teachers, my law professor. Hi, sir.
So he actually got up in front of the law faculty class and made an appeal for volunteers, because at the time his mom was running the JAMAL Center at the St. Margaret's Church Hall.
Right.
So that was one of St. Margaret's, like, their outreach ministries, was they accommodated and facilitated a JAMAL Center there. And he made an appeal for teachers. And I remember, and anytime I tell the story about ALC, I always say this part. Somebody asked, do you get paid? And he said, yes, richly, dividends of the heart.
Aww.
And that statement has never left me. Anyway, suffice it to say, I was the only one who volunteered. And that started just, you know, a journey of teaching, volunteering. And then JAMAL became Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning. And so we continued in that program. And then a few years after that, we actually set up ALC. And the main reason for doing ALC as in an independent charity, it was established in 2007, was we wanted to be able to have a lot more liberty with the curriculum. We found a lot of the students, you mentioned life skills, they needed more than just literacy and numeracy, but things like, okay, how to understand a Western Union or any kind of remittance form, passport application form, visa application,
NIS.
you know, how to work on a computer, not to be intimidated by technology, things like that. So we were able to modify the curriculum in that way. And over the years, we have, you know, set about our own syllabus. We employed a retired principal to help us design a program geared towards teaching adult learners. And so we were at the St. Margaret's Church Hall for many years, then COVID hit, and then that church hall needed some repairs. So then we moved to Christian Life Fellowship in Papine.
Yes.
Very briefly, they were very accommodating, and we're very grateful. But now we've resettled, and we have a home now at Swallowfield Chapel.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so they have a lovely resource center there, so we've been able to benefit from that. But because of COVID, we've lost a number of students.
Yes.
And so we're really trying to build back up our student population. That being said, our quorum is one.
Yes.
Dennis, Kadeen, if one person turns up to learn, we're teaching you. So we don't need a kind of threshold in order to operate.
Right.
And while we operate alongside the general school term, so school started this week.
Nice.
If you turn up on the last day of the school term to register, we're going to register you. So we will register you throughout the term. It's a rolling registration. Anytime you're ready, if you make that decision that you want to learn, we're here to teach you.
You know, Sanya, teaching adults is not the same as teaching children. And, you know, I learned that when I was teaching CAPE to adults. And it's a different experience because you give homework and them come and them not do the homework because I have my mother to take care of. My husband's sick, my kids so and so and so. And it's a very different experience. But also, my mom who taught at JAMAL and then JFLL for many, many years, I've heard stories like, you know, I want to come, but my baby father stopping me from come. Like, what are some of the stories that you've seen of how you've transformed lives and liberated people through adult education?
So we definitely experience those challenges, right? So people have to live, they have families, they have responsibilities. Many of them may have jobs that take them out of town. And sometimes it's just simply finding the money to get to the program.
Right.
Yes.
We take it for granted, you know, finding the bus fare, taxi fare, but for them to get there, it can be a challenge to add that to the daily expense. And so, yes, we find that we will have adults enrolled and they're in level 1 for years because it's 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8. So there's not a lot of time. You are dealing with adult learners who don't absorb information at the same rate as a child who's 7 or 12 or 11. And so we do have that. But there's a patience that's attached to it. We know that you're going to be here for a while. And then you have some adult learners who actually have, it's clear, a learning disability.
Yes.
And we're not trained to teach that, but their dedication and commitment is something that you know, we're here to meet you where we can. We have found every time we register a student, we ask, the last question we ask is, why do you want to be a part of the program? And that is where you hear the gut-wrenching stories.
Yes.
You know, my mom had to choose which of us she was going to send to school.
Yeah.
She couldn't afford to send all of us.
Yeah.
Teenage pregnancy, got caught up in the wrong company, joined a gang, had to drop out of school. So you hear lots of those stories. But the one that really moves me the most is when you have that 60-year-old woman, 75-year-old woman, and these are real ages.
Yes.
And the reason they want to learn is, I want to help my grandchild with their homework. I want to read my Bible. I
was about to say.
And that's
Yes.
our program. It's about functional literacy. It's about giving you the tools to function with dignity in society, with that level of independence. So it's not a CXC program. We take you from, I often say, kindergarten to grade 4. And when I say grade 4, I mean common entrance grade 4. So you youngsters here may not know what I mean by common entrance. This is not no PEP grade 4 or no GSAT, right? This is common entrance grade 4. The good old days.
Yes.
Is there a cost to get in?
So we charge a nominal $500 per term.
Oh, wow.
But it's
For the whole term.
For the whole term, yeah. But to be honest, we do.
It's free.
Rely on. I mean, my parents are contributors, benefactors, Gavin and myself, and then we do have some, you know, donors that we commit for a period of time. But for the most part, yeah, it's kind of self-sponsored.
So then it's whether you're semi-literate, fully illiterate. I mean, if you're illiterate, if you're completely, you don't know numbers, you don't know anything at all. This is a place for you.
Literally basic kindergarten. So we have had a 75-year-old woman who has never, ever written her name. She does not know how to write her name. And to have her in the program and to see her slowly, but surely move through to the point where she can say, I was able to walk into a government office and I could read the signs.
Wow.
You know, I could read my Bible. And it's also about giving our fellow Jamaicans citizenship, I mean, our fellow citizens agency. So that no one can come into your community and tell you anything. You can read the newspaper for yourself. You can form your own opinions. And you can have that independence of thought, and that is really, really what's important for us, giving you that functional literacy and numeracy to be able to function with dignity.
If you know somebody who may be in need of this kind of learning, please recommend them. Where are you again?
Swallowfield Chapel.
Yes.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Please.
Anybody who you know, please
and if,
pass on the word.
If you are somebody who is interested in investing to receive dividends of the heart, go out and maybe you can volunteer as well. All right? Our guest, Sanya Goffe, attorney, co-founder of the Adult Learning Centers of Jamaica. Life is all about taking chances. And coming up next, we're going to hear how one young woman's choice to quit her job brought her actually lifelong happiness. Sunrise will be right back.
Nice.